everyone, my name is Marina and I am here to teach you about food labels and what hidden triggers there are when reading food labels. So what triggers or what ingredients in our food labels that can mimic gluten or other products and cause those triggered reactions or trigger your reactions or your responses. So this pertains to anyone with autoimmune conditions, anyone with let's say rosacea, psoriasis, SIBO, Crohn's disease, hypothyroidism. All of these can be affected by just not choosing the correct ingredients in your food labels. And so today we are going to talk about specifically gluten and gluten mimicking ingredients, but even ingredients on our food labels that can have remnants of gluten and you wouldn't even know. So as a backstory, I did want to advise that in the US, maltodextrin is usually, so we're going to talk about maltodextrin, which is a meat glue. In the US specifically, this maltodextrin is made from usually rice, corn, or potato. All of them are high starch, so I would avoid them either way, but most cases they do contain gluten. It does. In Europe, it's most commonly derived from wheat. So if you are in the European Union, maltodextrin does have wheat in it. So while the manufacturing process does generally remove this protein, leaving the end product gluten-free, if you are very sensitive, it can still contain remnants, and you should double, even triple check the source. Most cases in the US, the product does advise on the label that it is gluten-free. It is a food allergen in the labeling laws. So in the US labeling laws, they do have to advise if it is a gluten-free food. If it is, I would still look into it and be careful. So other ingredients, we all know about maltodextrin now. That 100% needs to be avoided because that it is gluten. That's a meat glue. Other ingredients, you should look at the food label and avoid modified food starch. So a modified food starch can be from either corn, potato, or wheat, all starches. So just be very vigilant if it does say modified food starch. Most cases, these products are packaged that you're buying, and most packaged products are unhealthy either way. So if you're buying crackers, if you're buying processed meats, deli meats, most of them do have maltodextrin. So initially, if you are trying to heal your autoimmune condition, I would stick to those products that don't have packaging or labels, I mean. So like such as meats, very natural foods, meats, fish, no sauces on them, because usually if there is a sauce, there's a food label and ingredients. So meats, fish, seafood, fruits, vegetables, all of when you walk into a grocery store, try to avoid the inner aisles. But I understand some people would like some nuts or some beans or some canned fish. So those especially, I would be vigilant and I would take action and just invest those few more seconds or minutes at looking at the food labels and understanding the ingredients that you should avoid and avoiding those and using and buying the foods that don't have those ingredients, because you're saving yourself from a lot of stress from triggers and reactions. So another gluten ingredient that can be on your ingredient list that you wouldn't know about would be natural flavors. So natural flavors you think are everywhere on every food. So I would be very vigilant because natural flavors, they can include barley or wheat in them. So if you think you're eating healthy, if you think you're eating natural fish and just a meat together, then be surprised that your carbonated water can be affecting you. So because carbonated water does have flavoring, natural flavoring in it. Also, another ingredient is caramel color. It is usually made from corn, but sometimes from wheat as well. So that is very important, that coloring. Hydrolyzed vegetable protein, HVP, it is oftentimes made from wheat, corn, or soy. All are highly inflammatory. Textured vegetable protein, TVP, also made from soy, but also can contain gluten fillers. And dextrin may be made from wheat. So I've seen dextrin in a lot of food labels. So a lot of sauces, a lot of those type of foods, a lot of processed meats, they do have them. So I would have make sure to avoid that as well. And monosodium glutamate, MSG. Oh, we all know the infamous MSG. That is mainly in Chinese food. A lot of people use it to bring out that taste and addictive quality to the food. So in the US, it's typically made from corn, but it can be derived from wheat. Both do cause inflammation. Both do. So especially when we're looking at wheat, when we're looking at gluten, because most autoimmune issues, they are a product of poor gut health. And what more can cause gluten permeability than gluten? Especially if you're already inflamed and you're adding in inflammatory remnants or tiny microscopic remnants can be affecting your condition. And so in the next video, I would like to go into gluten mimicking foods specifically, because there are many that I would like to advise you of, or gluten mimicking ingredients, even gluten mimicking proteins. But these ingredients that may contain gluten are important. These are the top 8 ingredients that I would check out today during your grocery shopping trip, during your weekly grocery shopping trip, and just to check the food labels. Just look at the back, look at the labels, write down these proteins beforehand to check if you have them, if that food has them, and avoid them, or choose a better option. And you'll be able to see and understand what you can or can't eat based off of that, because you might think that this type of fish, you're eating beans, you're eating nuts, they're so healthy, what are you doing wrong? But those foods can be affecting you just based off of the ingredients, because nuts can contain fillers. We all know that nuts can contain sugar. They can contain seed oils, vegetable oils, which are inflammatory. Beans can contain sugar in them as well, and fish, depending on the sauces. So these specific ingredients I would avoid on the food label. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, guys.